I earlier in the year, one thing that was common was reaction videos. And it might not be me reacting to certain videos, it was more me reacting to um how do I put it? Me more reacting to what happened at a recent episode of SmackDown or a recent episode of Raw. And 90% of it had to do with the bloodline. For a second last night, I thought that this is what we were going to see, Jimmy versus Jay. And in thinking about if I wanted to talk about the bloodline, I figured why not do Jimmy versus Jay? See what happens. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As Jimmy hits a DDT, I almost forgot that I'm not Jimmy. Jimmy's going after the arm of his brother, but Jay catches the foot, dragon screw leg whip, takes down Jimmy. Small package. Jay kicks out. Jimmy surprised his brother with a small package. And, Jay regained his composure and was able to kick out. But now he's getting forearms to the small of the back. That's never too kind and never too friendly. Knocking his arm down. Big stiff dropkick by Jay. Lateral press. In a story that was built for Hollywood, the Bloodline continues to be the most talked about thing in WWE. And there's an obvious reason why, because the Usos have been the most stable presence in the WWE Tag Team division since their debut back in 2010. And nothing could have foreseen what we have seen over the last year from the Bloodline. Hell, nothing could have foreseen what we have seen over the last 3 years from the Bloodline as Jimmy rolls out of the way from the super kick. But Jay goes back to the well and hits the super kick, landing on his brother right on the bridge of the jaw. Goes for the lateral press, but Jimmy was too close to the ropes. I'm going to keep confusing him even though I'm playing as Jay. It's just something that happens when it comes to the Usos. But just you couldn't have expected it, and the reactions that they're getting is something. It's something of Hollywood that if WWE ever wanted to sell a story to a Hollywood studio, the Bloodline would 100% be that studio. Be that story, and it would be a story worth telling in the world of Hollywood. As Jimmy gets surprised by his brother, roll up, sunset flip. Jimmy kicks out at the count of 1. Jay's trying to knock his brother back, and a roundhouse kick. A roundhouse kick does the job. Moving around like he's in the 70s, but goes back to the super kick. He's measuring his brother, and his brother, Jimmy reverses it just like Jay did. Jay reversed that super kick, and Jimmy reversed that super kick. These two showing how much they know each other. Honestly, it is a little. Jay reversed it again. Again, going back to the sunset flip. And again, a 1 count. Back to the hip toss neck breaker. That's been Jay's favorite move in this one, and the first time he's got a 2 count on his brother. I know it is difficult for me with the fact that it seems like I keep this world a little separate from actual WWE, but it's hard for me not to want to talk about the Bloodline and how these two deserve all the praise in the world for the work that they've done since the pandemic and just how behind the people are of the Usos at this point. And you might say anybody that works with Roman is going to get people behind him. But people have been waiting for the Usos to turn, and they're happy to see them on the good side now. As I said, Now, especially, I mean, people have been praising Jay since the beginning of the year, but people have been on Jimmy's case since Night of Champions. But since this is not going to happen, I figured I'd take advantage of the opportunity. Headbutts to his brother. Jay definitely is showing why he is main event Jey Uso. Jay is showing why he's main event Jey Uso, and now he's going for the super kick again. But this time he nails it. This time he nails it. What the hell's Jeff Hardy? What business does Jeff Hardy have coming out here during this matchup? What business does Jeff Hardy have coming out here during this match? But the ironic thing is, Jeff Hardy's not coming out. Where is Jeff Hardy? Where is Jeff Hardy? Jeff Hardy's music just played. What business would Jeff Hardy have getting involved in this matchup between the Usos? And Jimmy just splashed his brother. Just hit the splash on his brother on his back. But Jimmy didn't realize how close to the ropes Jay was. I am still confused. Of all people, why Jeff Hardy's music? Why Jeff Hardy's music? And Jimmy gave his brother enough time to recover. As Jay reverses it, Jimmy rolls out of the way, and again, spinning roundhouse kick takes down Jimmy. I think Jimmy might have got busted open. Jimmy might have gotten busted open. And yes, in fact, you see the blood flowing freely on the forehead of Jimmy Uso as Jimmy sidesteps his brother. Jimmy's taking, the one mistake I think I may have made is not making this no holds barred. As now these two are spilling out to the outside, you see the blood flowing over the forehead, the entire forehead of Jimmy Uso, as he changes his mind and sends his brother back into the ring. Jay's getting back up, and he beels his brother off the top rope. Is he too far? No, he's not too far. Jay nails the splash. And Jimmy kicks out. Somehow, Jimmy kicked out. A springboard bulldog. A unique maneuver there by Jey Uso. Jimmy's right in the middle of the ring. And Jay somehow gets enough out of it and pins his brother. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso shows why he is main event Jey Uso, but at the same time shows... Well, I think these two showed how well they know each other, but at the same time shows what we're missing now that the Usos chose to split from Roman and Solo Sikoa going on their own, much to the positive reaction. Much to the positive reaction of the people. I was watching it last night. I watched it last night on highlights, and I will say that the fact of the matter is, excuse me, that the fact of the matter is, the Usos are getting reactions like they have never gotten, and the Bloodline has done wonders to pull up the Usos, and I'm hoping that the association with Roman can do the same for Solo Sikoa, because the story that they told throughout SmackDown last night is what has been missing from WWE for years. And the fact that they were able to tell it over the course of an entire episode of SmackDown, it shows that WWE can do it, but you can't count on every time an episode of SmackDown having a story like they did with the Bloodline. But it doesn't need to be a special story like it is with the Bloodline. It could be just something that makes you keep tuning in and keep watching to see what happens next. That's what's been missing, as the Bloodline is becoming must-see television and helping WWE to no end. With that being said, let me know down in the comment section below if you would have liked to have seen the Usos collide one-on-one but also let me know if you're happy that the Usos are doing it, or did what they did last night on SmackDown, or 2 nights, whatever, last week on SmackDown, and what happens next. Are you still on the edge of your seat for the Bloodline like I am? With that being said, though, that is it for me, and I will see you in the next one.